No. Choke cherry. Lampoonery.
H-I-T-S.
A. Epistogramma.
That is correct.
Jack smelt.
That's correct.
That is correct.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go.
I-O-N.
It really is impressive.
That is correct.
That's what clay players do. What a performance.
You're destined for great things.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 2025 Scripps National Spelling Bee Semifinals. I'm your host, Paul Leffler, and we're coming to you once again from our nation's capital. This competition is always exciting, but even more so this year because we are celebrating our centennial, 100 years of the bee. What an incredible milestone. And we started the day yesterday with 242 champion spellers. Now we're down to these 57 varieties of semifinalists. Before we start the competition, let's check in with some of those bee people who make it all happen, like our head associate pronouncer, Dr. Brian Sietzema. I know you're always ready, right?
You know, I'm just eager to go right now. Can't wait to get started with these Centennial semifinals.
Centennial semifinals. I might use that. Let's see if our associate pronouncer, Dr. Kevin Mock, is cleared for takeoff. Kevin, ready?
I'm ready to go. I'm hoping that, these spellers have a lot of questions for me. Looking forward to it.
I have a feeling they might.
They might.
Yeah. And over to one of our judges now, a former bee champion herself, Dr. Kavya Shivashankar. Kavya, you still remember what it was like to be one of those spellers up there?
Absolutely. It's a lot of fun, but it can also be a lot of nerves. So spellers, make sure you take a really deep breath and enjoy your time up here.
I was going to ask you how you handled it. I think you just told us. Okay, the goal here is to make it onto tomorrow's finals and then win the whole thing tomorrow night. We're going to start with the spelling round. Each speller gets a minute and a half. Then we move on to vocabulary when the spellers get 30 seconds. That goes by quickly. They'll have 30 seconds to pick a right choice. Get it right, you move on to more spelling. Get it wrong, and you will hear the sound of that dreaded bell we've all heard before. For that speller, the competition will be over. Make sense? I think y'all know by now. So let's go back to the stage and our first speller of the semifinals. This is exciting. From Phoenix, Arizona, speller number 4, Isha Marapudi.
Hi, Dr. Sietzema.
Your word is Corasian.
Corasian. Are there any alternate pronunciations?
There's Corasian and Corasian.
Corasian. May I have the definition, please?
The wearing away of rocks and soil by the abrasive action of material moved along by wind, waves, streams, or glaciers, one of several processes of erosion.
Corasian. May I have the language of origin?
This word was formed from originally Latin parts.
Does this come from the Latin com, meaning together?
You're on the right track.
Corasian, Corasian.
1 R or 2?
Corasian. C-O-R-R-A-S-I-O-N. Corasian.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Like
Aaron, your word is dactyliomancy.
Dactyliomancy. May I have all the information, please?
Dactyliomancy is a noun. This word was formed in French from originally Greek parts. Dactyliomancy means divination by means of finger rings. Solma criticized the movie's depiction of dactyliomancy on several counts, including the use of a pool ring and just how badly the tie-dyed sheets worked as robes.
Does this come from the Greek root dactyl, meaning digit or finger?
Yes.
Are there any alternate pronunciations?
I have only dactyliomancy.
Dactyliomancy. D-A-C-T-Y-L-I-O-M-A-N-C-Y. Dactyliomancy.
That is correct.
And then moving on, he was here last year, one of 25 repeaters on this stage right now.
Hi, Dr. Sietzema.
Hello, Oliver.
Here's another one.
Your word is mashlum. This mashlum is a noun, and it means a crop consisting of a mixture of cereal and a legume.
Mashlum, can I have all the information, please?
Mashlum is a noun. This word is from an originally Latin word that passed to French and then English. It means a crop consisting of a mixture of a cereal and a legume. In Scotland, farmers planted a mixed crop of mashlum, usually oats with either peas or beans, which served as a nutritional food. Mashlum.
Mashlum. Mashlum?
Mashlum.
Okay. Mashlum. Mashlum. Mashlum.
That is correct.
That's the right one. And a couple times now we've seen Oliver pretty taken aback to hear that it's correct. Here's one of our last fifth graders still going. Charlie Huang from Oak Park.
Hello.
Hello, how are you, Charlie?
Good.
Good. Your word is chapiter. This chapiter is a noun, and it means the head or uppermost member of a column crowning the shaft and taking the weight of the entablature. Chapiter.
Chapter. CHAPPETER. Chapter.
Chapiter is CHAPITER.
Okay. Thank you.
Charlie, what a great debut at your first B. At just 11 years old and already a Pokemon specialist, we hear. You brought both skill and personality to the stage. We hope to see you back here again soon. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So it's been a tough round so far for the youngest among the semifinalists. Here's one of the veterans, though. Third time in Washington. Sarvadya Kadam from Visalia in California, San Joaquin Valley, just outside of Sequoia Kings Canyon.
Ready, Sarvadya?
Hi, yep.
Yep. Your word is terricoline.
Terricoline?
Terricoline.
Terricoline, all info.
Terricoline or terricolin is an adjective. This word was formed in English from an originally Latin word plus an English element. Living on or in or growing from the land. By using boulders at the corners of his house, local wood, an undulating floor plan, and natural light, Zachary established himself as an up-and-coming architect of terricoline dwellings.
Terricoline, this is an adjective.
This is an adjective.
Terricoline, Latin terra meaning earth or land.
Yes.
Latin colere meaning to live or inhabit.
Yes.
Could you repeat the word?
Terricoline.
Terricoline?
Terricoline.
Terricoline.
That should clear up.
Terricoline.
Any questions? Knowing those roots.
TERRICOLINE. Terricoline.
That is correct.
Here's Srividya
I
from
Srividya.
Jacksonville.
Your word is dulciana.
Dulciana. Can I have the definition?
A soft-toned organ flue stop having metal pipes of 4-foot pitch, 8-foot pitch, and 16-foot pitch. Dulciana or dulciana.
Language of origin.
This word is from Latin.
Repeat the word.
Dulciana, dulciana.
Dulciana. Am I saying it right?
We'll tell you if we hear something amiss.
Dulciana. DULCIANA. Dulciana.
That is correct.
Thank you.
She's already made it further than she did last year, but she wants to go all the way. Well, we're just getting started. In that round, we had a dozen spellers make it through to the next round, while 3 heard the sound of that bell. But we're just getting going with the semifinals. If you look at your screen, when you see the B, that means they're moving on to the next round. So if those wings are buzzing, that means you'll see them in round 8. So Hannah Kuo moving on, so is Sarvadya. Then we see Nathan, Zwe, Nicasio, Srividya, and Nikhil all moving on to round 8. So much more spelling still to come here at the 2025 Scripps National Spelling Bee semifinals presented by Walmart. We'll return right after this.
The Scripps National Spelling Bee, presented by Walmart. Get your prescription delivered in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery.
The energy is high in the room as we continue with our 100th anniversary Spelling Bee Trivia. I'm your host, Zach Sherwin, and you are my guest.
I'm Aurora Spizak from Centerville, Ohio.
Aurora from Centerville, Ohio. With a heck of a bucket hat. I want to get one of those by the end of the bee. All right, my friend, here we go. Multiple choice Spelling Bee Trivia. The amount of prize money awarded to the first national champion. C, 500 dollars, or D, there was no prize money and the winner had to pay the bee for the hard work they did coming up with words to spell.
C?
C is the correct answer. $500 for Aurora. Congratulations, my friend. Enjoy that stuffy and best of luck this week.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 2025 Scripps National Spelling Bee Semifinals. That was a nice bucket hat, but maybe we can make a gut bucket hat. That's a word we learned today. It's a musical instrument. Look it up. Joining us now, a woman who knows that and a lot more, because she's been with the bee for over half of its existence now, our head judge, the ringer of the dreaded bell. It's not with her now, so don't worry, Mary Brooks. Mary, welcome back. How excited are you for this milestone year?
Beyond excited. It's like none of the other bees I've been involved in, and yet in so many ways it's as familiar, but there's so much new going on.
Did you really say beyond excited?
I think I might have.
And there's a bee on your finger, a bee on your wrist, a bee on your neck, a bee on your ears, probably your shoes too?
Yes.
Not on your forehead, not yet. Stay tuned. Something new this year, though, in celebration of the 100th year of the bee, we have the Bee Leave program created in collaboration with the Scripps Howard Fund. The idea is to help increase access to this program at every level. 11 million spellers participated. To donate, scan the QR code on your screen or text spelling to 50155. And with a generous matching grant from the Adam R. Scripps Foundation, your gift is going to get doubled. So if you give $100 for the 100th year of the bee, that's going to double to $200, which fully covers the enrollment cost of one school for the entire year in the Scripps National Spelling Bee program. So we encourage you to scan that QR code or text to donate. You watch some spelling, Mary?
Absolutely.
All right, she doesn't have a bell. It's still up there, though. To the stage for the next speller. We're in round 7 here, semifinals. And Sarv Daravne from Dunwoody, Georgia, 5th grade.
Hi, Sarv. Here we go. Your word is quern.
Quern, may I please have all the information?
Quern is a noun. This word is originally English. Quern is a simple mill for grinding grain consisting of 2 circular stones, with the upper one being turned by hand. The Tibetan villager used a quern to grind wheat in quern. I want to hear you say it one more time.
Quern.
Quern, yes.
Can you say it one more time?
Quern.
Quern. Okay. Quern. Q-U-E-R-N. Quern.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Use a quern to grind corn, or his last word that he got on stage, kasha. Funny how that works. Let's see how Yaya fares here.
Hello, Yaya. Your word is osphoresis.
Phrases, may I have the etymology, please?
This word is originally from Greek.
From the Greek, os meaning bone.
I don't see that here.
All right, osphoresis, may I have all the information, please?
Osphoresis is a noun. It's from Greek. It means the sense of smell. Impaired osphoresis can be not only irksome, but also dangerous. Osphoresis.
Well, that does not sound good. Osphoresis. Osphoresis. O-S-P-H-R-E-S-I-S. Osphoresis.
That is correct.
For that word, I guess we can say he sniffed it out, and that is a word we've seen before.
Lauren, hi. Your word is cubeb.
Can I have all the information?
Cubeb is a noun. This word is from a word that went from Arabic to Latin to French. Cubeb means the dried, unripe, nearly full-grown fruit of the Java pepper, which is crushed and smoked to treat congestion, and from which there is prepared an oleoresin formerly used medicinally. Cubeb was a valuable spice in Europe during the Middle Ages. Cubeb.
Can I have like can I have alternate pronunciation?
There's only Cubeb. I want to hear you say it now.
Cubeb?
Cubeb.
That first
Cubeb?
syllable could be formed a lot of different ways. It sounds like she heard him correctly.
Cubeb, Cubeb.
That is correct.
She sure did. So far in the semifinals, if you see a B, that means they're moving on. So Sarv and Yaya are on to round 8. Also advancing in the competition, Zachary and Lauren. And we're going to go right back to spelling.
Hi, Dr. Seethema. How are you doing?
I'm well, Harini. Your word is barretter. This barretter is a noun. It means an early form of radio detector operating by increased resistance when subjected to the influence of electric waves. Barretter.
Barretter. Can I have the language of origin?
This word is from a French word.
Barretter. Can I have all the information?
Sure, barretter is the only pronunciation for this noun. It's a word from French. It means an early form of radio detector operating by increased resistance when subjected to the influence of electric waves. The barretter was invented in 1902 by the Canadian-born Reginald Fessenden, an early pioneer of radio technology. Barretter.
Barretter. B. Can I start again?
Start again.
Barretter. B-A-R-R-E-T-T-E-R. Barretter.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Well done, Harini. Outside of Faison, last year's runner-up, she's the highest finishing returner in 2024. Ishan is next. Sixth grader from Jersey City.
Hi, Ishan. Your word is dyneric. This dyneric is an adjective meaning of or relating to the interface between two mutually immiscible liquids, as oil and water, contained in the same vessel. Dyneric or dineric?
Dyneric. Can I have all the information?
Dyneric, also dineric, is an adjective. This word was formed from Greek and English parts. Dyneric means of or relating to the interface between two mutually immiscible liquids, as oil and water, contained in the same vessel. Lula loved watching the moving dyneric lines of the density column she made inside a soda bottle.
Dyneric. Can you repeat the word one more time?
Dyneric, dineric.
Dyneric. D-I-N-E-R-I-C. Dyneric?
That is correct.
Thank you.
Didn't even have to ask for those Greek roots that I know he knows. Says he wants to work for NASA someday. And we want to get you straight on the latest with the spellers. Mary, any takeaways for you early in the semifinals?
They're incredibly prepared, and this is exactly what we expect every year. They stay with us all the way to the end, so it's going to be exciting.
There are some things that never change, like Mary Brooks. Adarsh is moving on, so is Harini. She made us a little nervous, didn't she? And let's look at the next set of names. We have Ishan and Brian advancing to round 8. But there's still a long way to go, Mary. Is there anything for people who maybe haven't watched the competition yet that you just can't wait to see in 2025?
I think the reactions of the spellers and seeing their ability to be as confident as they are on that stage and pull it all together, even if it is a word that they had never seen before. That's the moment in which we just are all in awe of them. So that's what you have to look forward to.
Amen to that. We're about halfway through this round. 20 spellers have been correct. 9 have heard the bell. You better get back to that bell or they may take it from you.
I doubt that, but I'll head back there now. Thank you.
Yeah, that's not happening. She's Mary Brooks, and we'll be back at the 2025 Scripps National Spelling Bee Semifinals right after this.
The Scripps National Spelling Bee, sponsored by Neffy, epinephrine nasal spray.
spelling bees not only showcase academic achievement, but also instill values like sportsmanship, teamwork, and the joy of learning.
It's not just about winning. It's about the journey, the growth, and the impact.
On every participant and every community.
Spelling bees, impacting lives, one word at a time.
If you believe in the power of words, donate today.
We got big balls and I cannot lie.
Welcome back to the 2025 Scripps National Spelling Bee Semifinals. And a hello again to another familiar face, co-host Julie Grant from Court TV, but most significant on her resume. Court TV's great, but being a former speller at this bee, that's a big deal in this 100th year, Julie.
Yes, my friend. I can't believe it's been 30 years since I was on that stage. I shouldn't say that. Did I just say that? That's awful. But it's great to be alongside you, Paul, and among these brilliant children. They're so impressive. And I know we want to get back to more spelling, so let's do that now. Back to the stage we go.
Hello, Dr. Sitama.
Hello, how are you doing, Such?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm not too bad. I'm ready to give you your word, which is allophonic.
Can you repeat that?
Allophonic.
Allophonic. Can I have all the information, please?
Allophonic is the only pronunciation of this adjective. This word is from originally Greek elements. It means produced from a mosaic cellular mass composed of cells integrated from two or more genetically different embryos. Because allophonic mice derive equally from two different genotypes, they are valuable tools in genetics research. Allophonic.
Allophonic. Does this come from the Greek phen, meaning mind?
I don't quite see that here.
Okay. Allophonic.
I don't know if he's saying it correctly.
A L O P H E N I C. Allophonic.
Allophonic is ALLOPHENIC.
Thank you.
Such, what a powerful debut at your very first bee. Your name means truth in Hindi, and it's clear that you have a real passion for discovering the truth about the world through words. We were so impressed by your performance and hope to see you back again. Congratulations.
Thank you.
2 more times if he takes care of business in North Carolina. Here's another speller sponsored by
Hello,
the
Dr. Sitama.
Panthers.
Hello, Holden. Your word is avidya. Avidya is a noun. It means ignorance, specifically blindness to ultimate truth. Avidya.
May I please have the language of origin?
This word is from Sanskrit.
Could you repeat the word?
Avidya.
Are there any alternate pronunciations?
There's just avidya.
Could you use it in a sentence, please?
In Buddhist philosophy, avidya is the first of the 12 links in the chain that binds living creatures to suffering. I want to hear you say it again.
Avidya. A-V-I-D-Y-A. Avidya.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Boy, Paul, I'm going to have to remember that word and take it back to Court TV.
Rujva.
Rujva, your word is notitia.
Notitia. Can I have all the information?
Notitia, also notitia, is a noun. This word is from Latin. It means a list or register, especially of ecclesiastical sees or districts. The bishop's secretary consulted the notitia to make sure his Christmas letters were going to the correct addresses. Notitia, notitia.
Notitia. Can I have the origin again?
Latin.
Notitia. Notitia. Notitia.
That is correct.
Thank you.
You could just see her contemplating putting a C there, couldn't you?
Right. She was counting the letters. You're right.
This young man's been impressive as well. Fifth grader, Jaden Jang.
Jaden, your word is cassowary.
Can I have all of the information?
Cassowary is a noun. This word is from Malay. It means any of several large birds of New Guinea, Australia, the Aru Islands, and the Ceram, closely related to the emu and having the claw of the inner toe elongated, a horny casque on the head, wattles on the neck, slender hair-like feathers of dark color, and wing quills reduced to a few stout barbless shafts. Cassowary. The cassowary can be dangerous if provoked.
Cassowary. Cassoary. Cassowary.
Cassowary is Cassowary.
Malay is not a very common language of origin for this competition. Let's hear what Dr.
Jaden,
Kavya has to say.
congratulations on returning to the B for another amazing run. We hear that you could spell before you could say full sentences, and I can't say that we are at all surprised by that. Clearly, your passion for words has been with you from the very start. Great job.
Thank you.
I have a feeling Jaden will be back hard.
Are those emotions coming back to you yet, Julie?
You are. The nerves you have up on that stage. It's like nothing else, isn't it?
The elation is great. It's still so hard to hear the bell ring, especially when you know they might have gotten the word before, the word after. That's the spelling bee. So let's review where we are. We started the semifinals with 57. Remember that? We've had 30 get it right. 13 have been eliminated. Again, every place you see a B on your screen, that means that speller is advancing. So Jay, Holden moving on. We saw Chilaka, Zach, Rujva, Avinav, and Vital all advancing to round 8, plus Akshaj and just now John. Long way to go.
They have done an outstanding job. These children are also impressive, making their families so proud. And we've got much more exciting wordplay to come here at the Scripps National Spelling Bee. This is the semifinals in our nation's capital and the 100th year anniversary. Stay with us. We're going to be right back after this.
Eloquence. Aioli. On the occasion of the 100th anniversary of the Scripps National Spelling Bee, a hearty congratulations to all the spellers who have exhibited extraordinary orthographic prowess and entomological rigor. For that, we are exultant. 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 Congratulations.
It already is beautiful, and it's going to get even better. Welcome back to the 2025 Scripps National Spelling Bee Semifinals. We're counting down to knowing who our finalists are going to be. But before we continue on stage, a little bit of bee business here. I want you to say hello to Philanthropy Manager at the Scripps Howard Fund, Patrice Pennington. Welcome, Patrice. Have you been to the Nationals before?
This is actually my very first spelling bee, and I'm also very excited to be here. It's been quite the celebration and ordeal to be here and take it all in.
What was your first reaction when you walked in this room?
Wow. Wow. Just to the set and to the number of people here and just the kindness and joy that I've witnessed also has been very inspirational.
And that collaborative spirit extends to you at home because you can scan that QR code or text spelling to 50155 and donate to the Believe program.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that, Patrice.
Yeah, so the Believe Fund is really established to help make the National Spelling Bee even more accessible to students all across the country, especially those that are in schools that maybe don't have as many resources. And so this program will help those schools that are Title I schools. This first year will work with Teach for America specifically in order to get more students access to the National Spelling Bee.
When you light that little spark, you never know what it's going to turn into. Thanks for sharing a little bit. Hang out. Let's watch some spelling together. We've got, I think, 14 more spellers to go in round 7. So let's get the next one on stage.
Arnie, your word is posse spiral.
Posse spiral. May I have all of the information?
Posse spiral is an adjective, and this word was formed in English from originally Latin parts. It means winding around a center or pole and gradually receding from or approaching it with few turns. The common periwinkle is an example of a gastropod with a posse spiral shell.
Posse spiral. Paucispiral. Posse spiral.
That is correct.
Thank you.
So Arnie from Amarillo. On to round 8. Not too many left here in round 7.
Hi, Dr. Sietsema.
How are you, Faison?
I'm good. How are you?
You ready for this word?
Sure.
Comprador.
Comprador. Can I have all the information?
Comprador is a noun. This word is from Latin-derived Portuguese. Comprador means one held to be an agent of foreign domination or exploitation. Due to his fluency in both Mandarin and English, the comprador enabled the British traders to get excellent terms on Chinese tea, silk, and porcelain.
Does it come from the Latin com meaning together?
Yes.
Comprador. C-O-M-P-R-A-D-O-R. Comprador.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Pick the right letter for that schwa. So Faison, who again got a perfect score on that test that established quarterfinalists. He's gunning for the finals for a second straight year. His
Shreyansh, your word is neoteny.
Neoteny. Could you give me all the information, please?
Neoteny. Of some larval or immature characters in adulthood. Various kinds of neoteny can be found in salamanders, such as axolotls, which can reproduce even though they retain larval characteristics. Neoteny, neoteny.
Does this come from the Greek root neo meaning new?
Yes, it does.
Neoteny. N-E-O-T-I-N-I. Neoteny.
Neoteny is N-E-O-T-E-N-Y.
Shreyansh, your time at the Bee has been truly impressive, and your remarkable knowledge, like your ability to name so many dinosaur species we hear, makes you stand out as an exceptional speller. Your curiosity and passion was shining brightly on stage. Congratulations.
So 50 of our 57 semifinalists have made it to the microphone. We've had 34 move on. 16 now have heard the bell. Here's a look at who's moving on. If you see that B on your screen, Patrice, that means they're still in it. Vidula, Arnie, Isaac, advancing to round 8. Also, Faison, last year's runner-up. Let's go back to the stage. Up next, Brihasa, her second time in Washington as a speller, also cheered on her older sister in this competition.
Hi, Brihasa. Your word is ovascapt.
Can I have all the information, please?
Ovascapt is a noun. This word is from a French word formed from Latin and Greek parts. Ovascapt means a specialized organ for depositing eggs in a position suitable for the development that is frequent in insects and forms a boring apparatus with which a hole is made where one or more eggs may be placed. The parasitic wasp uses its ovascapt to lay eggs inside the tomato hornworm, which is good for the tomato farmer, but bad for the hornworm.
Does it have the Latin root ovi, meaning eggs?
Yes, it does.
Does it have the Greek root scapula, meaning knife?
I don't quite see that here.
Oviscapt. Oviscapt. Oviscapt.
That is correct.
Thank you.
She knew it all along. The Greek root means to dig. That's why they couldn't say yes when she asked for it. Again, the root and the meaning have to be what's in the dictionary. Otherwise, they can't say yes. Up next, Declan, all the way from Snoqualmie, Washington.
Ready, Declan?
Yes.
Obligor.
Obligor. May I have all the information, please?
Obligor is a noun. This word is from a word that went from Latin to French to English. Obligor means one that binds himself or gives their bond to another, one that places themselves under a legal bond. Myra found that the obligor had vanished along with any chance of recovering the $50 he owed her. Obligor.
Obligor. May I have the language of origin, please?
This word is from a word that went from Latin to French to English.
Obligor. O-B-L-I-G-O-R. Obligor.
That is correct.
Can't hold back, Declan. Tied for 22nd last year. Trying to exceed that this year. Here's where we stand. 40 spellers now have made it through round 7. Remember, we started the semifinals with 57, so we're heading toward that defining group of finalists who will compete tomorrow night. You saw Brihasa, Siona, Roshan, and Nargiza all get their words correctly. Also moving on to round 8, Declan and Ethan. And thanks again to Patrice Pennington from the Scripps Howard Fund. Any other observations before we let you get back to cheering them on?
Well, I'm excited to cheer them on, and I just want to encourage folks to donate to the Believe program because that's really going to help us expand the access to the National Spelling Bee, and we'll get even more spellers up here next year.
There may be some hidden gems out there just waiting to come knock our socks off. So scan that QR code on your screen or text spelling to 50155 to donate. If you, like Patrice, like me, and the rest of these people here, believe in the power of words. Back with more from the semifinals of the 2025 Scripps National Spelling Bee right after this.
The Scripps National Spelling Bee, sponsored by Pilot Pen. Only friction
Welcome back to the 2025 Scripps National Spelling Bee presented by Walmart. Joining me at the desk is our sometimes co-host, sometimes pronouncer, all-the-time 2015 co-champion, Vanya Shivashankar, the first ever female pronouncer here, by the way. Vanya, do you notice when we get to this point in the competition, round 8 is going to be a vocab round, that the spellers put more pressure on themselves just because we're further along? And anything you would tell them now that they're the top 40 out of 11 million who started this competition somewhere?
Of course. I mean, I totally understand where the spellers are right now. It's hard not to put that pressure on yourself, but I hope all of them just take a deep breath before we start this vocabulary round. They've made it so far already, and they're already all champions, and it's going to be fun. We're going to have a great time, and I hope they enjoy every moment they're at that microphone.
And at least in the vocabulary round, if you don't know it, you can still guess right, because there are 3 options for each one.
Exactly.
And, you know, we've been showing you that QR code throughout the competition. You can scan that, or again, to text, spelling right, SPELLING, text that to 50155 and donate to that Believe program, the initiative launched this year thanks to the Scripps Howard Fund. It'll create free access to the Bee for all Teach for America / Title I schools. And with a generous matching grant from the Adam R. Scripps Foundation, your gift is going to be doubled.
So that means if you give $100 in this 100th year of the Bee, your gift will double to $200, fully covering the enrollment cost of one school for the entire year in the Scripps National Spelling Bee. Pretty great.
Never know how big a difference that you're going to make. So on to round 8, the word meaning round, 3 multiple choice options. And once again, Isha gets to start us off, 7th grader from Chandler, Arizona.
Hi, Isha.
Hi, Dr. Bailey.
Okay, here we go. Munger. A munger is A, a trough in which feed is placed for animals to eat. B, a person engaged in the sale of a product. C, a hybrid between types of persons or things.
A monger is B, a person engaged in the sale of a product.
That is correct.
Thank you.
See that a lot of times as kind of a suffix in it.
Hi, Lawrence.
Hi.
Literal. Something described as literal is A, expressed in complex language. B, capable of birthing multiple offspring. C, related to the seashore.
Something described as literal is C, related to the seashore?
That is correct.
And in case you don't know California geography, the closest thing to a seashore there is Lake Yosemite outside of his hometown of Merced. So not exactly something in his backyard, but he has done his studying. Well done,
Hannah.
Lawrence.
And Dr. Bailey.
Baroque. If something is described as Baroque, it A, is dry and slightly spicy in flavor. B, has an elaborate design. C, thrives in underwater environments.
If something is described as Baroque, it B, has an elaborate design.
That is correct.
Thank you.
But Vanya, the other thing that holds true, just like the spelling rounds, that element of chance, because I think there's a good chance Aaron might have known these 3 vocab words that have followed his.
Absolutely. Luck is a huge part of this competition. And so we'll see what Sarvanya gets.
Tithe. When people tithe their income, they A, invested in the stock market. B, give a tenth of it to a religious institution. C, spend it on frivolous luxuries.
Could you repeat the question, please?
When people tithe their income, they A, invest it in the stock market. B, give a tenth of it to a religious institution. C, spend it on frivolous luxuries.
When people tithe their income, they B, give a tenth of it to a religious institution.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Hi, Zoe.
Hey.
Valhalla. Valhalla is a place of A, temporary confinement. B, punishment or torment. C. Honor or glorification.
Valhalla is a place of sea, honor or glorification.
That is correct.
I love watching him take a minute to think about it, but he gets it every single time.
You can always see those wheels turning with him.
Amazing.
Hello again.
Hello, yeah. Basilisk. What is a basilisk? A mythological reptile with poisonous breath that can kill with a single glance. B, an ointment composed of rosin, yellow wax, and herbs. C, an oblong building ending in a semicircular altar.
Can you repeat the question?
What is a basilisk? A mythological reptile with poisonous breath that can kill with a single glance. B, an ointment composed of rosin, yellow wax, and herbs. C, an oblong building ending in a semicircular altar.
A basilisk is C, an oblong building ending in a semicircular altar.
A basilisk is a mythological reptile with poisonous breath that can kill with a single glance.
Yeah, you've endeared yourself to everyone here, both last year and this year, with your passion, and just knowing how many other wonderful areas of your life that you're involved in. Hopefully, we're going to see you back another year, but until then, hopefully, yes. But until then, you just pursue all those other things that you're interested in. Thank you. Congratulations.
Great showing by Yaya. And Vanya, I can't help but wonder that here in the home of the world's most famous obelisk, the Washington Monument, maybe that was at the forefront of his mind?
Exactly. I know it's a lot of things that maybe you've seen recently or whatnot that could trip you up in this round, but definitely doesn't take away from any of their accomplishment of making it this far to the Scripps National Spelling Bee.
So before we go to break, let's check the numbers now. We've had 14 spellers in this round of vocabulary. 11 of them have been correct. 3 now have heard the bell. So much more to come as we continue with the 2025 Scripps National Spelling Bee semifinals right after this.
The Scripps National Spelling Bee, sponsored by Haribo. New Haribo Star Mix Gummies. Everyone has a favorite.
Everyone has a favorite bee.
One year, some pretty heavy hitters met in the finals.
No one knew what to expect.
All of a sudden, this 7'2" gold bear walks on stage.
You could have heard a gummy drop, and that's impossible.
Taste buds weren't the only thing with something to cheer about that day.
We changed the rules after that.
Stay tuned to the Scripps National Spelling Bee Semifinals. Sponsored by Haribo. New Haribo Star Mix Gummies. Everyone has a favorite.
You never know what you're going to see at the Scripps National Spelling Bee. Welcome back to these 2025 semifinals. Since this is our 100th year, we've been celebrating by welcoming a number of past champions, and we have two of them here now. 1985 champion Balu Natarajan and David Tidmarsh, who took the title back in 2004. So neither one of you had to deal with what these spellers are up against right now. 30 seconds, not a lot of time, multiple choice, vocabulary. Have you been playing along? How you doing?
Oh, compared to these folks, I'm old news. Are you kidding? It's a disaster. So no, I'm glad I didn't have to do that for sure.
How about you, David?
This is totally new for me as well. So I'm enjoying seeing them get to play.
Now, Balu, when you won in 1985, there had never been an Indian American champion of the Scripps National Spelling Bee. You started a pretty significant trend. What do you take most from that? What's the significance of this trend over recent decades, 40 years now, in your mind?
Community pride. It was amazing. I would travel internationally a year after that, and people would say, "What's your name?" And I would say, "Balu." And they'd say, "What's your last name?" Natarajan. "Oh, there was the spelling bee guy, Balu Natarajan." How do you know that? And that's what I learned at a very early age, that people took pride in this, and the solidarity that people come together, whether it's a spelling community or an Indian community. There is something that people feel a part of, and it's just magical, really.
And you've seen your sons compete.
Yes.
Is that a little different than being up there yourself?
I'd much rather be on stage in front of the lights than where I sat watching them. That's really challenging.
And David, for you, I know it's your first time back in a while, and
It's
that's
been a
what,
while.
2004 was when you won it all. What's the biggest difference you see now that you've been re-entering the bee world?
Honestly, I don't think I can answer that because it's as the same as it ever has been. It's impressive how much it really has remained constant. It's just kid against dictionary. That's the idea, and that's fantastic to come back here after so long and see that.
Well, I'm so glad to have you back and all the former champions who are here for the 100th year. And we're going to watch together. If you guys see something that's noteworthy, feel free to speak up. Let's see how they do playing along with our spellers here in the vocabulary round. We're going to get back continuing with round 8. Still a long way to go. We started this round with 40 competitors still in the competition.
Hi.
Hi, Lauren. Celerity. What is celerity? A, the state of being acclaimed. B, the cultivation of plants. C, rapidity of motion or action.
C, rapidity of motion or action.
That is correct.
Thank you.
And they do try to trip you up sometimes with, I think they were going for celebrity with that first one. Yeah, but totally different word.
Says the spellebrity. Ishan.
Hi, Dr. Bailey.
Hi, Ishan. Endogenous. If something is described as endogenous, it A, responds favorably to treatment. B, originates from within the body. C, lives on another organism.
Endogenous. Can you repeat all the answer choices one more time?
A, responds favorably to treatment. B, originates from within the body. C, lives on another organism.
If something is described as endogenous, it B, originates from within the body.
That is correct.
Thank you.
That's where that root word knowledge comes in handy.
Exactly. Endo, within.
Howdy, Dr. Bailey.
Howdy, Jay. Juvenescence. What is another word for juvenescence? A, jocularity. B, youthfulness. C, commotion.
Another word for juvenescence is B, youthfulness.
That is correct.
Thank you.
The personification of juvenescence. 10-year-olds. Jay Nayak, keeping New York City's hopes up.
Hi, Dr. Bailey.
Howdy, Aishwarya. Ossify. What does it mean to ossify? A, to become callous or hardened. B, to swing backward and forward. C, to change from a solid to a liquid state.
To ossify means to become callous or hardened.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Balu, you're a doctor. Little medical reference
I
there
would
too, huh?
say more than a third of these words. My career helps quite a bit.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Inveigle. What does it mean to inveigle someone? A, to sentence them to punishment. B, to manipulate them with ingenuity or flattery. C, to honor or revere them as a divine being.
To inveigle someone means A, to sentence them to punishment.
To inveigle someone means B, to manipulate them with ingenuity or flattery.
Zach, I know a lot has been made of your sponsor, the Akron Beacon Journal, because they've been with us all 100 years. But I tell you what, they could not be any more proud of you and your spelling ability. And I will hope, since this is the end of your journey here with us, that maybe you're going to give back to that newspaper and be a part of their program for many, many years to come. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Maybe another future pronouncer or judge. That word made me wonder, though, David, Balu, if you ever tried to inveigle the pronouncer, getting his good graces, get a little extra help.
Not me, but you absolutely do see that sometimes.
Hi.
Hello.
Timbre. What is timbre? A, the quality of tone distinctive of a singing voice or an instrument. B, droplets of water produced by a plant in transpiration. C, a Cajun stew of shellfish or chicken served over rice.
Can you repeat the word again?
Timbre.
Timbre is A, the quality of tone distinctive of a singing voice or an instrument.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Well done. It sure is. So now 23 have gotten correct in this vocab round. 4 have heard the bell. We're getting closer to find out who's going to make the finals of the 2025 Scripps National Spelling Bee. Balu, David, one question before I leave, because David, I know you've spent a lot of time in Argentina. Balu, you've been the champion for 40 years. Most unique place you've been recognized for your role in spelling bee lore? What do you got, David?
The airport. My friends in Argentina have Googled me and figured out they don't really understand because it's not so much a Spanish thing. It's kind of a weird thing we do in the English language, but you know, they appreciate it all the same.
The language is unique.
It is.
Balu, how about you?
I love that.
Thai restaurant in Honolulu in 2021. A group of Indian Americans talking about the spelling bee and suddenly recognizing that I'm at the table right behind them. So,
did they pay for your dinner?
No. I might have paid for theirs. I'm not sure.
Wow. So on behalf of them, mahalo nui loa to Balu and to David. And we're going to be right back with more after this, the semifinals of the 2025 Scripps National Spelling Bee. Stick around. We're back now at the semifinals of the 2025 Scripps National Spelling Bee. We're going to continue with the super fast vocabulary round, which is all about word meanings. And joining us now from the pronouncer's perch, he's everywhere, head associate pronouncer Dr. Brian Sietsema. What is it that keeps you coming back year after year after year?
I just love to see the kids indulging their curiosity and the way that they study and prepare themselves, all the different subject matter that they learn about as they're preparing the words that they want to learn for the bee.
And we see them ask you a lot of questions, and it looks like you really want to be able to tell them yes, and sometimes the answer's not there for you.
Oh, I do want to say yes. Yeah, I have to keep myself back from sometimes saying yes when they're so close, but it's not quite right. So then we have to say, yeah, you're on the right track. I'd like to give them that bravo, a firm yes.
Well, it's a tough job. He's one of the people that does it. Let's see who else is doing it now as we go back to the competition in round 8, vocabulary. Again, we've had 23 correct so far, 4 incorrect. That means we have 13 left to spell in round 8. Let's get back to it. This is Vital Krishnamurthy from Portland, Oregon.
Howdy.
Hello, Dr. Bailey.
Magniloquent. A person described as magniloquent, A, is extremely generous with money. B, uses bombastic, high-flown language. C, has enormous physical strength.
A person described as magniloquent. B, uses bombastic, high-flown language.
That is correct.
Hi, John.
Hello.
Samaritan. A person described as a Samaritan is A, compassionate and eager to help. B, shy and easily frightened. C, unlikable or irksome.
A, compassionate and eager to help.
That is correct.
That kind of goes to your other role as a Greek Orthodox minister, doesn't
That's right. That word comes from the parable of the Good Samaritan,
in which the minister was not the hero.
The minister was not the hero. Often is not in those stories, no.
Sorry to rub it in.
Thanks.
Latitudinarian. Someone described as a latitudinarian, A, engages in warfare or conflict with civilians. B, does not insist on strict enforcement of standards or norms. C, is somehow related to a governor or to government.
B, does not insist on enforcement of standards or norms.
That is correct.
Thank you.
I guess if this competition were run by latitudinarians, we'd never have a champion, would we?
Not, no. We need some pretty strict keep things on track.
Here's Isaac.
Hello.
Hello. Scimitar. What is a scimitar? A sword with a curved blade. B, a mythological monster that is half man and half bull. C, a tall, slender tower with multiple balconies.
A sword with a curved blade.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Might have been doing some reading in addition to studying.
I was going to say, this is one where general world knowledge stands you in good stead and not just roots always.
Hi, Dr. Bailey.
Howdy. How are you, Siona?
Doing well. How about you?
Good. Egalitarian. A person described as egalitarian, A, is opposed to technological change. B, uses both hands with ease. C, believes that all persons are equal.
A person described as egalitarian. C, believes that all persons are equal.
That is correct.
Thank you.
4 more to go in round 8, and then we're done with vocabulary for the semifinals.
So pleased to see these semifinalists know their vocabulary as well as their spelling.
Yeah, greater percentage than the spelling rounds.
Hi,
so far.
Roshan.
Hello.
Frangible. Something described as frangible is capable of A, mutual substitution. B, being broken. C, being defended.
A mutual substitution.
Something described as is capable of B being broken.
Roshan, you've made quite an impression on everybody. During this first year, and I'm going to say to you what I say to some others. I'm guessing we'll probably see you back.
Understand language. B has fatty deposits in their arteries. C has a curved spine.
Someone who has atherosclerosis, B, has fatty deposits in their arteries.
That is correct.
Thank you.
So of the 40 who went to the microphone, 35 got that vocabulary word correctly. 5 had to exit. Dr. Seetsum, I don't want to leave our audience hanging. I asked you for your favorite neologism, that new word that enters the lexicon. What do you have?
Well, we had it earlier today as a spelling word, insinuendo, which is a blend of innuendo and insinuating. And I learned that as we were preparing the list for this B, and I love it.
It is a fun one to say, maybe not as much to spell. One more question, because we see the B 100 years in, getting more international. Ghana's been here for several years. We saw Nigeria join for the first time this year, and maybe in the future, more of the Middle East. I heard you actually pronounced a B in Dubai.
That's right. The United Arab Emirates had a B for the spellers there, and it was a great privilege to go and be their pronouncer. They were wonderful.
You got a good scouting report on what they might bring next year?
Oh, they're going to bring it. They're going to bring a lot of talent. It's a great group they've got going there.
Something to look forward to in year 101. Dr. Seetsma, keep up the good work.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you for your good work.
All right. More to come from the 2025 Scripps National Spelling Bee Semifinals. Getting close to it. Stick around.
The Scripps National Spelling Bee, sponsored by Crest, the #1 toothpaste brand in America.
again from the semifinals of the 2025 Scripps National Spelling Bee. Joining us now is a master of the word. Some people call him Mr. Dictionary. He's editor of the Merriam-Webster Dictionary and a spelling bee judge, a trumpeter, a French expert, one of my favorite feeds on X, Peter Sokolowski. Welcome again, Peter. How long have you been coming here now?
Since 2008 was my first time, and my role has grown with every year. I started just to give the award from Merriam-Webster and slowly grew into a lecture and some consulting, the word panel, and now judge.
And every year we hear some oohs and ahs in the ballroom at the opening ceremonies when you bring out that dictionary that's bigger than people think a dictionary should be. Do you have to like put that in a nuclear football suitcase, or how do you travel with that?
I'm happy to say that Scripps travels with that. I donated that to Scripps so that I wouldn't have to carry it. It weighs about 18 pounds. It's, I think, the largest mass-produced book in American publishing history, the so-called Webster's Second, the big unabridged edition of the 1930s.
Well, there are a lot of words. How many words are in that dictionary?
600,000 words.
So I don't think we'll run out of words.
We are in no danger of running out of words.
You heard it from the expert. Let's get back to the competition. Vocabulary last round. Now we're going to spelling. Rest of the semifinals, all spelling. 35 competitors remaining, chasing that dream of the trophy in year 100. Let's get back to the stage.
Hi.
Hi, Oliver. This word has a homonym. The word is eolite. Eolite is a gas discharge glow lamp which is used in optical sound recording, and the luminous intensity of which can be varied by altering the terminal voltage.
Okay.
Eolite.
Eolite. Could I have the etymology, please?
Perhaps from a Greek word and from an English word.
Perhaps.
Okay. Does this come from Aiolos, Greek wind?
I don't see that given here.
Does this come from Aeolus, Greek god of wind?
I don't see that given here.
Okay. Does this come from light English, something that you use to light things?
Indeed, it does.
Okay. Thank you. Eolite. Okay. A-E-O-L-I-G-H-T, Eolite.
That is correct.
Thank you.
He didn't get thrown off by the root answer, which was a no because he didn't have the right meaning, right?
That's exactly right. And, you know, matching a Greek root with an Anglo-Saxon Old English root is a little unusual.
Hi, Vade.
Hi.
Mullica.
May I have the definition, please?
Mullica is a bulbous or melon-like ornament terminating the shikaras of medieval Indian temples.
Are there any alternate pronunciations?
There's just the one, Mullica,
May I have the language of origin?
Sanskrit.
Amalika?
Mullica.
A-M-A-L-A-K-A. Amalika.
That is correct.
Thank you so much.
So we are 9 for 9 so far in this round. Last round in vocabulary, we had 5 spellers and 35 making it through. And now so far in the spelling round, no misses. Let's see who's next on the stage. As I said, 9 for 9 so far in round 9. But what's up next? It's a 7th grader from Coral Gables. That's Nikhil Shah.
Salutations.
Salutations, Nikhil.
There's a Latin word right there.
Yeah.
Sodoku. This is a disease that is marked by sharp elevation of temperature, swelling of lymph nodes, eruption, recurrent inflammation of the bite wound, and muscular pains. It's also called rat bite fever.
Can I have all the information except the sentence and the definition?
Sure. Sodoku is a noun from Japanese, which formed it from Cantonese.
Okay. Sodoku. S-O-D-A-K-U.
Sodoku is spelled S-O-D-O-K-U. So close.
Nikhil, to be in this round, part of the 35 finalists, as a 7th grader, I'm pretty sure you're going to set your sights high for next year again, as you should. But between now and then, find some time to keep playing that piano that you do so well and do your coding. And there's some of us that would like you to try that pasta again from scratch. Give it another chance. Congratulations.
I've always wanted to try one thing.
One thing.
Okay. Be weak.
That's weak.
All right.
reinforcing the spirit that all these competitors share.
Hi, Zachary. Katupa.
Can you give me all the information?
Katupa is a noun from a Latin word, probably of Malay origin. A katupa is any of the various fish-eating owls of two Old World genera. It's also called a fish owl. Katupa.
Can you repeat the language of origin?
It's from a Latin word of probably Malay origin.
Katupa. Katupa. Can you give me all the information?
Katupa, a noun from a Latin word of probably Malay origin. Any of the various fish-eating owls of two Old World genera. It's also called fish owl.
Katupa. C-A-T-U-P-A. Katupa.
Katupa is spelled K-E-T-U-P-A.
Zachary, it's been a joy to watch you last year and this year, and I know in this moment it may feel disappointing to you, but you have nothing to be disappointed about. Making it this far, the amount of time and study that you've put into this, a shout out to your family and to your sponsor, and I hope that you will continue to do all those things that you love, and if spelling is one of them, pass it along to others. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Larry Brooks mentioned his sponsor. That was the Louisville Free Public Library, a great place to study spelling words.
Hello.
Hi.
Doina. This is a Romanian folk song, usually in the form of a lament.
Doina. May I have all the information?
Doina, a noun from Romanian. A doina is a Romanian folk song, usually in the form of a lament.
Doina.
Nothing to help him here except familiarity.
Do
right?
I know any
Romanian
alternations?
borrowing, not many.
There's just the one, doina.
Doina. Doina. D-O-I-N-A, Doina.
Correct.
Great work. Great work. We're going to be right back after this. The semifinals of the 2025 Scripps National Spelling Bee presented by Walmart.
The Scripps National Spelling Bee, presented by Walmart. Get your prescription delivered in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery. Calling all fans.
Are you ready? Let's go.
Big fans.
Let's do this.
Bee fans.
The spelling bee is on.
That is correct.
Yes.
Don't miss the fun, the highs,
Thank you.
and the high fives.
Get ready to root for all these spellers.
It all comes down to this. Stay tuned to find out who will be this year's Scripps National Spelling Bee finalists. Presented by Walmart. Get your prescription delivered in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery.
Welcome back, and welcome back to Julie Grant, former bee competitor herself. You know her from Court TV, and to all of you joining us for these 2025 Scripps National Spelling Bee semifinals. And what a way to celebrate this 100th year, Julie. It's been amazing.
It really has been. These children are so brilliant, Paul, so impressive, incredible. And now it's coming down to the end of the semifinals. We're going to have the competition continue. Let's go back to the stage. We've got our next speller up.
Hi, Dr. Bailey.
Hi, Aishwarya. This word has a homonym. The word is loose. This loose is a pike fish, especially when full grown.
Loose. Can I have the language of origin, please?
Latin-derived French.
Loose. Loose. Are there any alternate pronunciations?
Just the one, loose.
Loose. Loose. L-U-C-E. Loose.
That is correct.
Thank you.
Oh, precious.
Thank you so much.
Aishwarya is precious. Oh, look at her family. So proud of her.
Here comes Chilaka from Minot, North Dakota. Been all business at the mic all day long.
Quindecim.
Can you give me all the information, please?
Sure. Quindecim is a noun. It came from Latin. It is the 15th, or in modern reckoning, 14th day after a church festival.
Can you repeat the word?
Quindecim.
Quindecim?
Quindecim.
Quindecim?
Quindecim.
Are there any alternate pronunciations?
Just the one. Quindecim.
Quindecim.
The clue is in the definition here. His Greek and Latin roots have been strong throughout the competition. So he can decipher this if he picked up.
This come from Latin quin meaning 5.
You're on the right track.
Good question.
And the back half is another
Can you
number.
repeat the word?
Quindecim.
Quindecim. Q-U-I-N-D-I-C. I am Quindecim.
So close. Quindecim is Quindecim.
Chilaka, it's said that the only impossible journey is the one that you never begin. We are so glad that you began this spelling journey. This is your first B.
C-H-O-N and she.
This word has a homonym. The word is bait. Hi, Brihasa. This word has a homonym. The word is bait. Hi, Brihasa. This word has a homonym. The word is bait. Hi, Brihasa. This word has a homonym. The word is bait.
Ingredients.
guy right here. Remember him? Bruhat Soma, our 2024 B champion. Bruhat, do you remember kind of this point in the competition where you knew probably if I spell one more word correctly, I'm going to make that primetime final on Thursday night?
Yeah, I do. I actually do remember that really well. And there were, I think, around 16 semifinalists. And then all I had to do was just spell one word I knew because after that, they would just take everyone to finals. And then once I got that word, I was just so happy because I realized I knew it. So it was just great. But the tension right now is really high because it's just one word that separates you right now from the semifinals and the finals. So good luck to all the spellers.
He said it, right? And he's always smiling. Let's see how many smiles we see on the stage as we go to another round. 19 spellers remaining. Who's going to make the finals tomorrow night? Let's find out. Beginning another circuit on the stage. And once again, we start with Isha, 7th grader. She's
Howdy,
been
Isha.
incredible. First time here.
You guys are doing great. Ectexine.
Ectexine. Are there any alternate pronunciations?
I have ectexine or ectexine.
Ectexine. May I have the definition, please?
A structurally variable outer layer of the wall of certain spores, such as pollen grains.
Ectexine. Does this come from Greek ect or ecto, meaning out?
Yes.
Ectexine. May I have the language of origin, please?
That answer
It's from a
could
part that
mislead her.
passed into Latin from Greek
Yeah.
and a part that probably passed
The
into
root
German
is
from
usually
Latin.
ECT,
Does
but
this
this
come
time
from
it's spelled with a K.
Latin ex, meaning out?
Yes.
Ectexine. May I have the part of speech, please?
Noun.
Ectexine. 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 E-K-T-E-X-I-N-E. Ectexine.
That is correct.
That was so cool, right at the buzzer.
Here's Sarvadya.
Disulfiton.
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 And another tricky
Can I have all the
schwa in
information,
this word
please?
too.
Disulfiton is a noun formed using Greek parts and a part that came into Latin, probably from Oscan. A disulfiton is an organophosphorus systemic insecticide used especially on cultivated plants.
Does it come from Greek di, meaning two?
Yes.
Disulfiton?
Disulfiton.
Is there any alternate pronunciations?
Just the one, disulfiton.
Disulfiton.
Third syllable schwa, the sticking point here.
D-I-S-U-L-F-O-T-O-N. Disulfiton.
That is correct.
So another Californian moving on. Such an incredibly difficult round. Let's
Hello,
see how
Dr.
Sarv
Billy.
fares.
Hello.
Only 3 people so far are going on to the
Levalorphan
finals.
or levalorphan.
Levalorphan. May I please have all the information?
Levalorphan is a noun formed from 2 Latin parts, a Greek name, and an ultimately Greek element. A drug related to morphine that is used to counteract morphine poisoning.
Does this come from the Greek allo, meaning two or different?
I don't see that given here.
Could you repeat all the information?
Levalorphan is a noun formed from 2 Latin parts, a Greek name, and an ultimately Greek element. A drug related to morphine that is used to counteract morphine poisoning.
Levalorphan. 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 Levalorphan.
That is correct.
Yes!
The last time we had a finalist from Georgia was last century, Cody Beauclair in 1997, but Sarv is on to the finals.
Really?
Hi, Aishwarya.
Let's get the next word for Aishwarya.
Talagalone.
Talagalone. Can I have the definition, please?
A sand mullet or a related Australian fish. Talagalone.
Talagalone?
Talagalone.
Are there any alternate pronunciations?
Just the one. Talagalone.
Talagalone. Talagalone. Can you repeat the word one more time?
Talagalone.
Talagalone. Can you repeat the word one more time, please?
Yes. Talagalone.
Talagalone. Talagalone?
Talagalone.
Talagalone. Talagalone. Talagalone. Tallygalone. Talagalone.
That is correct.
And what a performance.
Howdy again.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You are very good. Okay. Cotterel.
Cotterel.
This has homonyms, so I'll give you the definition. Cotterel. This is a peasant of a class of medieval English free villagers.
Oh, this is really tricky.
Oh, okay. All the pronunciations.
There's just one. Cotterel.
Can you say it again?
Cotterel.
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 Cotterel. Okay. Cotterel. Cotterel.
It's a peasant of a class of medieval English free villagers.
Okay. Okay, say the word again.
Cotterel.
Cotterel. Cotterell.
That is correct.
Yes! Thank you so much.
Okay, I think he was just having one of those moments where he recognized the word but just couldn't remember how to spell it.
Hi, Ethan.
Dr. Bailey.
Alobrages.
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 Alobrages. Could I have all the information, please?
Certainly. Alobrages is a plural noun formed from a Latin name. The Alobrages are a people of Gaul inhabiting the region now known as Savoy and Dauphiné. Before the rise of the Roman Empire, the Alobrages were a powerful Gallic tribe that controlled important mountain passes through the Alps.
Alobrages. Does it come from Latin allo, meaning different?
I don't see that here.
Alobrages.
Spell that word. It doesn't have that root.
Are there any alternate pronunciations?
There's just the one, Alobrages.
Alobrages. Alobrages. Alobrages. Alobrages.
Alobrages is spelled Allobroges.
Ethan, that was a great try, and look around you where you finished up. I know you're disappointed, but in this group of semifinalists, what an impressive job you have done spelling. Congratulations, first B, maybe back. We're proud of you.
Thank you.
That means every speller eliminated in that round tied for 10th out of 11 million who started at the first level of this competition and 242 who made it to Washington. Congrats to all those who tied for 10th. But now we have, and Brewhut, you know what this feels like, your Scripps National Spelling Bee finalists for 2025. So Isha Marapudi, Oliver Halkett, another Californian, Sarvadya Kadam. We have Sarv Daravne, Harini Murali. They'll all be on that stage tomorrow night in those 8 o'clock Eastern finals. So will New York's Brian Liu, Aishwarya's Kala Curry. She's from North Carolina, Akshad Samaseti, and last year's runner-up, Faizan Zaki. Wow, can't wait. Congrats again to every one of those finalists. One of the toughest rounds we've seen in a long time. Bruja, we're all looking forward to tomorrow night. You were up there last year in the same spot they're going to be. What are you most looking forward to tomorrow night?
I'm looking forward to all those emotions. The finals words will be really intense, really challenging. The finals nerve-wracking. It's just so much emotion for all of the spellers. So I want to see how the words are like, how the spellers can conquer them. And good luck to all of the finalists. You have done so much work to be here.
Means a lot coming from a champ. Someone's going to have the trophy just like he did last year. We invite all of you to join us for the finals tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern, when we crown a brand new champion in this 100th year of the Scripps National Spelling Bee. For Bruja and everyone here in Washington, D.C., good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
The Scripps National Spelling Bee is sponsored by Delta Airlines.
Primera